So, Corvin, congratulations again. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're the record breaker. Really.
2 records. I broke 2 records.
Yeah. Which two?
The first one was my story, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the longest story you've ever read.
Yeah.
And yeah, the second one is now the quickest to get an offer, right?
Yeah. Definitely. There are less than 4 weeks. I don't know how many more people can do that. Specifically, you are not in the Netherlands at this moment. You need the relocation. That's really,
Yes.
really rare. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So what I will do is I'm going to ask you a few questions as my feedback so I can improve later.
Sure.
Okay. So what do you like about this journey to working together with me?
Well, I really enjoy that you have a very structured program, and the homework that you give helps me structure it in my mind as to how to approach, which steps to take. So the step-by-step approach is the real challenge, because without this, as normally looking for a job, because I've been looking for a job 6 months before I met you, and you just do everything, right? You do your CV, you do your cover letter, and you're not tracking things, you're not structuring things in the right way, and you're just hoping something's going to stick. And I'm a data person, generally structured, but I did not structure this area of my life. So I think that's the one thing I really appreciate. It's the first thing. The second thing is also your enthusiasm about helping me with the process, because you're not just here to, you don't make it look like it's your job. You make it seem like this is what you enjoy doing, and
Yeah, I am.
it really motivates me. Like when I have a meeting with you, I look forward to the meeting, which is very rare for meetings. I hate meetings, but when I'm talking with you, it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Like Grace gave me this good piece of advice. Grace is also super honest, and she, gave me a lot of like criticism. It was harsh, but it was good. And that's the third thing as well. But the real criticism and feedback is amazing. So I think those three: the structure, your enthusiasm, and the actual advice you give is it's good stuff. You help me understand more my value. My wife can tell me, you're a senior guy, you shouldn't be applying for those jobs. But it's my wife, not we don't always we don't always listen to our husband and wife, but somebody professional also tells you, then you're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot in changing my mindset about how to approach.
Okay, great. Well, actually, maybe I can share advice from my husband. Well, it's something he kept in mind himself, which is happy wife, happy life.
Yes, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. Which is he's trying to use already for past few years marriage already. So that works well. Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Less worries.
Yeah, for sure. So why did you decide to choose me as your career coach? Because I know that you were hesitating for a few months, and then when the second time you come to me. So what made you changed your mind like a few months ago and then a few months later?
So initially I knew I would need help. That was many months ago. And myself and my wife were interviewing different career coaches, because everybody has a free session. I think it's a good way to do things. But you, and don't get me wrong, everybody was good. They had good credentials, they had good HR experience, etc. But I think with you, you're a good salesman. You know how to pitch yourself, which helps me feel like you'll know how to pitch me. And you stuck in our minds. I think your enthusiasm for the work, the way that you spoke to us about your confidence, for example, you gave us some feeling of, look, I've worked with people, I've helped people, especially expats, get jobs. And I say, even in COVID, I give you 2 to 3 months, and you're like, I'll guarantee that for you. And we were like, wait a minute, you guarantee that? Are you sure? Remember, we asked you that a few times. And at the time we couldn't hire anyone. We didn't have enough money. Because something happened in the following weeks. And then once we did have enough cash, we're like, okay, we're going to get a career coach. And we're like, yeah, we'll go with Grace, because you stuck in our minds because of how you confident and sure you were about helping us. And I think that just helped put us over the line.
Now you agree on my guarantee? You did it even quicker. I guarantee only 2 to 3 months. You did it less in 1.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it worked
should
out.
be confident. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You've got good results, and it worked. It helped us choose. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so how did you experience the support from me during this job searching journey?
So I think that's the one thing I was worried about when choosing a career coach was, okay, I'm gonna have so many job applications.
Mhm.
How are we gonna do this? Are you gonna be there for every application and so forth? And because of your structure, we learned how to prioritize firstly, which was important. So I'm not
Yep.
applying to 10 jobs a day,
No,
which is exhausting.
exactly.
And secondly, for each application at each stage, if it does progress forward, you were there making time, which I think is probably the most valuable thing, to have somebody on your team next to you in this process, because it's difficult. It is difficult. We all think that we can interview, I'll be fine, but actually having prep is the quickest route to success for anything, and we forget this. So I think having you there to support at every stage of the interview. I mean, you were there for. I mean, I just met you, and a few days later we already started chatting to the first interviewer, right? And you were there for that. We were talking about it, and then we talked about the next and the next. And I think that level of support is important, because that helps you. That's you at there at the critical stage, which is for me the level of great support, excellent support. So I was really very happy with that. And the fact that we're talking now, you're on leave. You're a little bit crazy, in my opinion.
Well, I'm quite crazy, yes, for that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good. It's a little bit nuts, but it's amazing. So yeah, thank you for
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm glad that you feel the support from each of your steps. Well, I guess that also motivates me a lot. Like seeing everyone is getting closer and closer to get a job offer. So I think that really makes me so happy. Yeah, I think this holiday is one of my best holiday.
That's brilliant. Yeah, because you also just had somebody recently, right? Finding.
Yeah.
So I think also in choosing somebody to help you or do work for you or whatever, it's if you find somebody that loves what they do, then I think the cost, as long as it's not crazy, it becomes secondary, because you will get that job done really well. And I feel like that with you. You love what you're doing. I feel lucky that we found you, you know? So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much
Really
for
happy.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, because we already know the result you got from this program, right? So, well, which is I think is definitely out of both of our expectation. So
Yeah.
if you compare your thoughts before and after the program, what are the differences regarding to
So I do feel like I wasn't expecting that level of support. Firstly, I think that was really above and beyond my expectation. And also the amount of knowledge I would gain from the process about how to approach my job search, because I feel like I know more about what's going to happen next. You know? Let's say I do decide what happens in the next. I want to move in 2-3 years, for example. Okay. Firstly, I'll talk to Grace, but for my first approach, I'll already have a good baseline. This is how I started, etc., etc. So I also learned a lot rather than just purely I got a job. I also learned through the process, which I wasn't expecting.
Okay, that's very interesting to know. So that's another very interesting one. What would you say to someone who is on the fence about working with me?
On the fence. Okay, that's a good
Like
question.
still hesitating a little bit, yeah. To be or not to be.
Okay, well, if you gosh, I'll just smack them. I don't know, stop being on the fence. Like I'll obviously ask, like, why are you on the fence? Is it the money? Because if it is the money, it's not a small amount. I mean, for me, it's a whole month of my salary here. It's a huge cost. But think about the fact that A, she's been successful with me and many others, and B, what that cost is going to look like in 6 months when you have a job in the next 3 months. It's not going to look like anything. So if you're thinking about you doing it, just think, oh, I might have a job in 3 months if I work with Grace. If I don't, I might have a job in a year. Decide. And then you can think about whether the money, because I can tell you that the process is worth it. Because my wife, even, she's going to move with me. She's going to be using Grace. So that's it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Corvin. Yeah.